Welcome back and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak Extra. So now we'll be talking about unorthodox learning skills using cartoon characters to facilitate learning among children. So unorthodox learning methods are increasingly gaining recognition as effective tools for engaging children in the learning process. This, of course, is one innovative approach in utilizing cartoon characters to facilitate knowledge acquisition and retention. This unconventional technique leverages children's natural affinity for colorful, relatable, and entertaining characters to convey complex concepts and ideas. We have, of course, someone that would be joining us to talk about this situation. Now, this is very important. We decided to pick this topic right now because students will be returning to school. The holidays is almost over, and this is the right time for us to talk about this. So, joining us via Zoom from Kaduna, we have Ahmad Maaroof-Mahmood. He is a cartoonist, child enthusiast, and educator who employs creativity to facilitate understanding in children between the ages of 4 and 10 to stimulate imagination and help them learn through play. Good morning, Ahmed. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You can hear me clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. We can hear you. So let's start by what inspired you to use cartoon characters to facilitate learning, for children.
Okay. First of all, I am a cartoonist, so I do understand the language that cartoons portray and pass. As a child, I enjoyed that, and I know how much it shaped my life. So I decided to give it back. That's simple as that. So the conventional way of teaching, I realized, is not really working, and it's not working for this generation of children. And it's very, very important for us to take into consideration creativity and innovation in terms of teaching if we really want our education sector to become different, and if we want our kids to challenge and cope with the competition across the world. So I decided to start using cartoon characters and dolls, of course, just to help kids understand what I'm trying to say. Because usually, play is a very essential part of being a child. And if you want to teach children and you don't play, I don't see how you want to pass the message regardless. So cartoon characters, that's a good place to start. Children love cartoons and they love books. So using cartoon characters to portray any message that you want to say or want to pass on will be very, very easy when you pick a cartoon character rather than just going out to say it or show them or tell them.
Well, how is that working for the kids? I've seen a couple of pictures that it's quite interesting to see that they're actually picking from what you have been, trying to pass to them. So how is that working for you?
Well, it's working really great. The children are really having fun. They're enjoying it. And like I told you, it's a different approach. Learning through play is the new cool, let me put it that way. So teachers need to go out of their way. Of course, it's a huge sacrifice. It's not something that is very easy. They have to go think outside the box. They have to go out of their way to try and innovate, look for new ways that they are going to be teaching their children. The subject doesn't matter. You don't have to be an art teacher. You don't have to be a math teacher. It's just you. Think of how you can do that and help the children learn. For me, I know it has been helping a lot because I focus on reading. My own program is about reading because I know the reading culture is dying. I love books. I have so many books. And then I like children. So the best thing I could do was, merge the two, children and books, and then start a reading club for children to come in and learn through play. So it's not the usual classroom environment. I make it very cozy. I put some dolls, stuffed dolls, toys, and other stuff around every book. I have some here that I actually wanted to share. This is a cartoon that most children love. It's Paw Patrol. I'm sure in your household you do have this on your screen. So Paw Patrol is a cartoon that most children between the ages of 3 and 6 or 7 even like. So this is phonics patrol. The 4 has been changed to phonics. So this is made up of a lot of phonics books. If you see, we have a lot of books. There you go. So from these books, you can teach children how to read because already they attach the characters. And I have the tiny figurines as well of these characters from the book. So when teaching, you can give the children each a figurine just to hold it. Of course, it won't distract them because the book is already here. So tell them, okay, would you like to be Marshall? Marshall is going to pronounce some words now. So hold Marshall, hold Chase, hold Rubble, and let's learn together. And in the process, when you're doing it, you'll notice that they're even trying extra so that they can compete with the other children who are there. This way, you've already captured their attention and they'll look forward to the next lesson. It's not just plain and blank and ordinary. You're not just standing in front of them and telling them this. You're actually showing a lot of stuff and they're learning from it. And this helps them out a lot. And usually what I do when the children come in is I have different tags of cartoon characters and stuff that they like. So I have each child just wear a tag, put it around their neck so that they just feel special and welcome and comfortable. And from there you can start, the scene has been set. So you can start bringing in what you want to teach them for the day, what you want them to learn for the day in a very, very simple way. Whoever is in a bad mood or in a certain frame of mind would actually instantly change because they're in love with what they do and what they see before them. So this is a very, very influential and effective way of teaching. It's a free tip for teachers who are watching this, or parents or school owners. You can apply this and use it, and you will see the miracles that it's going to play in your school or house.
Ahmed, you are a very great storyteller, I must say. I had about 4 questions and you answered all in one part.
Exactly.
So kudos to you on that one.
But okay, well, good. I saved you the time.
But talking about, children and all of that, you made mention of how you're able to put the educational curriculum and make it in a more easier and more relatable way for these children to understand and, make it memorable. But let's talk about how you're able to keep the balance between education and play. We all know kids. We have to navigate them through a learning process.
Yes.
They'll take everything as play. So how are you able to balance it between entertainment and learning?
Okay, well, I believe at this point, most people are familiar with edutainment. It's like entertainment that has play in it, or entertainment, so that it's not plain. I really do not believe in ordinary. Normal has never worked for me. Even as a child, I was a very different type of child. So anything that is normal, I see, okay, why can't I just add a little extra to that ordinary? So usually you want to teach. So you have to think about what you're going to teach and look for the nearest thing or form of play or activity that you can attach to that topic or that subject, so that you can drive what you want to say or what you want to achieve from that. So for example, like I said, I focus on reading and literacy mostly, so that's why I'm actually giving you examples from this. When you have a child or children who are struggling with words or pronunciations and all that, it's a very, very important thing that you take into consideration, bringing them on board, looking for ways that you can help them learn. So what do you do in this process? You have to take up things.
Do we still have Ahmed?
Okay, I think Ahmed is kind of frozen, but then, he has been saying a lot, Summayya, and it's actually interesting, like you said, he has answered almost all the questions.
He is, first of all, he is making teaching look so rewarding.
Simple,
yeah, so rewarding. We all know, our educational system has been poorly because teachers are not being paid what they do. So what makes a teacher more fulfilled is, teaching the kids and knowing that the kids are learning and enjoying, he makes it seem so rewarding. He's so into what he's doing. He loves his job and he's doing it right. I mean, when he started bringing out examples of what he has and how he guides everything. I was stunned. He made me just think for a tiny bit, should I go back to teaching?
You love to teach?
I actually love to teach. Yes, my mom is a teacher, so
I just feel I will be very emotional. I will be carried away. I love children. So
okay, no, you are very poor. You're someone.
I wouldn't. I'm sure I would just keep playing.
You would not keep the balance, yeah. but yes, if there is one thing that we know about teaching is that you have to just know. Hence the reason why I threw that question at him, how he's able to balance the entertainment.
Oh, it's good to have Ahmed back. Well, it's good to have you back, Ahmed. Are you with us? Yeah, so sorry about that also. But then, like,
so I hope you got the last bit.
We were just having a conversation with Summayya before you came back, and I was meaning to ask you, how do you strike a balance with screen time? Are there concerns from the parents that maybe they have too much screen time? That's if at all you're using maybe digital as well, aside from, just the physical cartoons that you tend to use to teach these children. So are there concerns about that?
Yes, there are concerns. I honestly, I'm currently reading a book about the TV time, and it's really terrible in today's world. I don't even encourage screen time for most parts of the day. In my house, the TV is more or less a picture. It's just there because even the kids who come even forget that I have a television. First of all, I put a board in front of it. Okay, it covers it, but all the same, they know that there is no screen time, so you're not going to watch TV. And I don't use digital stuff because already in their houses, that digital stuff is all over. So monitoring screen time is a very important thing for most parents. Children are attached and attracted and addicted to screens, and that's not the best for them. Besides the health aspects, they need to focus more on things that are physical, that they can feel and touch and see. It's like reading a book. If you give a child a book to read and you give them show them a digital book, normally the child will prefer the digital aspect because it's just there. They're just sitting and it's there flipping. You flip the pages and they read. But they need to hold it and feel it and enjoy it. Let them know that there is something there. Open the page. What do you see? Can you touch this? What do you think is happening here? Okay. When you do that, the child really, really feels that this is really interesting. This is nice. And they get to learn more and get that potential benefit that you want them to get. Screens are not very, very advisable. So I'd advise very, very low screen time, maybe 30 minutes in the morning. Or if there are certain programs that are educational, then you can encourage more screen time just for those programs if they're interactive, just so you can try the child and see how they're learning. Is it about colors? Is it about numbers? Is it about shapes? But other than that, the ordinary cartoons that we watch just for entertainment, where kids go 6 straight hours just watching the TV screen, barely eating food, barely doing anything because maybe parents are at work and the nannies are not going to stop them. As far as there is power in the house, electricity, the TV is constantly on, even if there's nobody in the screen. This has already made the TV a one-eyed monster in the house, so it remains there unless you do something about it. I'm not condemning TV entirely. There are positives, and that's what I'm saying, the educational aspect. There are programs that are educational and interactive for the children. You can watch those programs. I do know of a few. There's Leo the Wildlife Ranger. I even watch it myself because I learn a lot from it as an adult too. And there are others. There's which other one? Okay, like the Mickey Mouse. They're very interactive. You learn about colors and all that. Barney the Classic, Sesame Street. All these are things that your children can watch for a while because they're going to learn about feelings, about emotions, about goals and all that. But the normal cartoons that they just watch that instill a little violence and it's not really about a certain thing, you can limit those ones for now, especially from the ages of 0 to 5, 6.
Okay.
I think that is necessary.
Yeah, you made mention of how you are also learning when it comes to watching this cartoon and characters. So let's talk about quickly collaborations. Do you collaborate with other educators or even subject matter experts when it comes to creating more cartoons in relevance with education system?
Okay, like there are a few books in terms of books. I have done a few. This book was about climate change. It's a very, very complex topic for a child. If a child asks you what is climate change or global warming, it's not very, very easy for you to actually explain it to them. So this book, I wrote and illustrated it. Last month, there was a gathering in Abuja on climate change, and we talked about the recent heat wave for this year in Adamawa State and other states. So I illustrated the book in a very, very simple way. It's about a child, a boy who lives in Adamawa, who actually wrote about the heat and what it did, how it made people uncomfortable and all that. So from the drawings and what I said in the book, a child of what heat waves are, I collaborated with the agency on climate change. So you talked about collaboration. In terms of television and all that, content making, I have spoken with a few people. We've had a few ideas. We've rubbed minds. I don't do animation. Like I said, I create characters and all that. There are people who do animation, but I do bring in stories and I share my ideas and say, okay, this is what we need. We don't even have Nigerian characters on our TV screens, which is actually the number one down low for us, because if we have that, our children will relate more with things around them. They'll understand some things more, and they'll even know more about Nigeria, because using a character you can portray. If a child is in Kaduna, you can have a program that is set in the south or in the east, and the child will have an understanding of what the East is like because of the environment there, what the cartoon shows, what the child wears, and all that. So I think it's high time Nigeria started looking into using these and making storybooks and all that, so that children will relate more with our characters, things that they are familiar with and can see. And that way you can even teach them more about their environment, about morals, about the country, rather than, because most of the kids, even I am a generation that was into Superman, Batman and all that. Yeah. So there's really, really no Nigerian or African character that is that well known, so that you can even pass it on or teach your children about them. So I think it's a very welcome development. We need to look into that. The production industry should look into that.
Yeah, so Ahmed, let me ask you this question. Let me just quickly, in 2 minutes, what are the challenges that you face so far, teaching?
That look at creatives.
What are the success stories that you can actually, document right now, that, okay, in schools, they're actually doing well, their grades are doing well because of the technique that you're using to teach these children?
Okay, sorry, I didn't get that. Did you mention the challenges that I feel schools are going through?
The challenges that you face so far, if there are any, and what are the success stories of these kids that are using the techniques of, the toys, the cartoons to teach? What are their grades like in school? How are they performing in school? Compared to
okay, I'll start with, I like starting with the challenges first, so that we can talk about the good aspect of the progress report. So for challenges, honestly, more. Parents need to get more involved in the lives of their children, because it's really affecting us. It's affecting educators, because school has been left all the burden and most of it. I'm not saying parents are not trying. They are trying, but they need to do more. There needs to be follow-up. Parents need to monitor. Parents need to create that time for their children to just listen to them, see what they do, just know what they're up to, follow up on assignments, just know about these things, be in their lives, get involved, ask them questions. Because when I finish lessons with children and all that, and they go home, I expect follow-up from parents. What did you learn today? Or I even stress it to the parents. This child is weak with these particular sounds, or they mix them, or they're confused about it. Can you get them books about these sounds so that they can practice more at home? I write the sounds and say, okay, can you learn this with your children? Can you help them learn this? Just listen to them maybe every morning before they go to school. They go through it with you. In the afternoon, just create a few minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just ask them. There is no follow-up. Most parents just leave it to the teachers, or employ a lesson teacher to come and help the children, and that doesn't help out. The parent is the first teacher in a child's life, whether you like it or not. We already know how they picture teachers in Nigeria. Across the globe, you can see how teachers are celebrated and their lives are packed. In Nigeria, teachers are seen as, okay, if you say you're a teacher, there's a particular light that they see you in. Of course, I am a child enthusiast, like I said. Teaching is part of what I do, but I'm not like a full-time teacher. So I'm just saying, I have friends who are teachers and they tell me how they feel. So parents need to involve the teachers as well. Ask teachers what you should teach your child, or where the child is weak, what I can do at home, how I can help it. And I mean fathers to be involved too, not just mothers. Even if you're busy, create that little time. The time that you have for Premier League, you can get a few 15, 20 minutes just to sit with your child and ask them, okay, what do you understand by this? Why are you finding this difficult? You will notice that it's very easy and they'll pick up fast because daddy is teaching me, mommy is teaching me. So any other person is secondary because you have made yourself an icon, an educator, which you actually are. That's for the challenges, the lack of follow-up by parents or giving much consideration or concern to what their children are learning. For the plus side, I must say, alhamdulillah, because like I said, I go out of my way to think of ways to help these children. I'm not reading a particular book that is giving me these tips. I'm not going on the internet to see a particular guideline. I read wide, read broad, and then apply my own creative sense. As long as it's moral, it's legal, and it's okay, and it's on that child's level. It's not bad to go out of your way and bring in things that are innovative just so you can help a child understand something. Psychologists say that it's good, it's advisable. And as the years go by, we have to be thinking ahead. Else, with this education system that we have, I'm afraid the conventional way has become so boring and ordinary that children are not feeling it anymore, and schools need to do more as well.
Well, I mean, Ahmed, you've said it all. You answered beautifully, and we've seen the work that you've actually done in the lives of these children from the pictures that we've seen. So
thank you.
We want to say thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
This morning to dissect these issues that that we are facing, especially with our education system.
Sorry, I didn't get that last part.
And I want to say thank you so much for joining us and dissecting some of these issues that we are facing with our education system. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, Ahmed.
All right, thank you for having me. Have a nice time and pass the message to the teachers around you and parents. It's very important.
Indeed.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I'm sure they will pick one or two things from you right now.
Now that was Ahmad Maaroof-Mahmood, a cartoonist, a child enthusiast, and educator. We get to dissect unorthodox learning. And with that, we'll take a break. And when we come back, fun parties here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.